2, 1.
Check it out.
Yo,
What up? What up? What up?
yo, what's good, everybody?
What's good, people?
Well, it's only two people.
Happy Sabbath.
There we go. To the two, to the four. Shout out. Tell us where you coming from.
For real, let's do our usual shout outs. I'm like, where do I look? Right? We got like a new setup, and I'm just like, where do I go?
I don't know. You just go straight like how we've been looking all the time.
It's so funny, like with all this technology. I'm like, man, just give me a camera and a phone, and that's it.
Nah, you want to be professional for the people.
Okay.
How does my mic sound? My mic sound nice. 1, 2. Oh, now I'm gonna be really, really freestyling, killing it.
Okay, on the mic.
That's right.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. I'm glad to hear that. How was your week?
My week was good. I didn't have no issues. I went to New Orleans
New
twice.
Orleans.
New Orleans. New Orleans.
New Orleans.
It's New Orleans. We don't say New York.
Who did it? No, but I've heard some people actually saying New Orleans opposed to like New Orleans.
Yeah, they say New Orleans.
New Orleans. So New Orleans is New Orleans, right?
Yeah, New Orleans
Okay.
is New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they have an interesting way of saying they OR or just O.
Okay.
O. I can't do it.
Yeah, you're not a New Orleans if that's a thing.
I don't even know what they call them.
New
I don't even know what they
Orleans.
call
I'm
them.
sure.
Anybody from New Orleans in the house, in the place to be
New
that's watching us, we want to
Orleans.
shout you out. Maybe we got to do the sound effects just so that you can hear.
Okay.
Boom.
So you were out there and
Yes.
Okay.
I was out there. So last week, I was there because Faith in Action was having their annual training.
Uh-huh.
Well, not annual training, their Southern leadership training.
Uh-huh.
Then I had to go back again because I'm in this rock leadership, social justice leadership cohort for the South.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
a bunch of different organizers, funders, and all of us were just there for that. But yo, I like New Orleans though.
That's what's up. I've not been.
They say do. I like New Orleans though. I think I got the accent.
Do?
Do. Yeah.
Okay.
It's not like do.
Like
It's like do.
do.
I can't. Nah, I don't have it. I'm just gonna
So I've never been, but I would love to go there just kind of just to embrace the culture as well as the history part of it, right?
Yeah. Let's go next week.
What?
Let's go next week.
I'm good. I don't think we should go next week. I think we should plan it out and go.
You gotta go get some beignets.
Because that means that you would be there for a whole 3 weeks.
That is true.
Yeah, I think you should give it a break. But yeah, we'll definitely get out there, visit New Orleans, embrace the culture. I love beignets. Beignets is like a whole. You know what beignets is like? It's like what's that thing you find at the I'm about to say circus, but like Six Flags. It's
Funnel
fried
cake,
funnel
funnel
cake.
cake.
Yes.
Shout out to the funnel cake.
Oh my gosh. I feel like back in the day I used to travel to Six Flags just for the funnel cake. Of course the rides. I love rides, but that funnel cake I'd have to have one before leaving. It's so oily and it's so good.
Yeah, apparently from what I learned is that a beignet is a French donut. So they probably got in France a whole bunch of beignets, different flavors and stuff.
Okay.
Anybody who's here, shout us out. We want to know what's up.
We trying to shout y'all out.
Yeah,
Nobody
to
in
the
that
text.
chat yet.
Somebody gave us a heart though, but somebody who's here, where you from? We should probably start. We should start our shows with a little trivia.
Okay.
Okay. So
I'm nervous, but
right.
it's on the spot.
Be easy.
Okay.
It's gonna be easy trivia.
Okay.
So,
A little nervous still.
this person, you have to. Okay, this person was out on the playground playing basketball with some friends, and his mom told him he couldn't live there anymore. Where? Who is it, and where did she send him?
Oh, I already know.
Who is it? Who is it?
I'm not gonna say it, but I already know. What's up, Natasha?
Yo, shout out to Natasha.
That's the organizer right there.
Yes,
The
yes,
organizer of all organizers.
yes, yo.
Shout out
Shout
to you,
out to
Chris, and
Natasha and the hard work she did at camp
yes,
meeting.
her and oh my gosh, her name just slipped my mind. Brother, Pastor Johnson's daughter.
Dag.
Oh, I think it starts with a T. Natasha for sure will help us out. Dang, what's her name?
Gosh,
I
no,
can't
this is
remember her
not good.
name.
I hope she doesn't see the episode.
I'm so sorry.
Natasha, put her name in there real quick.
It just slipped
I know
me.
the husband to Shorn.
Yes. But the but the but the
Ray. Rathita.
Ray.
Rathita.
Yes.
Yes. Natasha saved us.
Yes. Thank you.
Natasha saved us. Rathita, if you
Shout
hear
out.
us, please charge it to our old heads, not our
Tell you,
hearts.
you guys were on it.
Yo.
So kudos to you guys. I hope that you are getting the much needed rest that
Facts.
you needed, because I'm sure that was like
Fact.
a whirlwind.
You
But
deserve
you guys do it so well every
round
year.
of applause. Yo, they were giving me cues while I was on the stage.
Listen,
And then, this the thing with pastors though, they don't stick to the program.
no,
So
at all,
man, I was
at all, because y'all want to preach everything.
I was waiting forever to do the benediction. I was like, yo, I'm losing weight standing back here just because I need to do the benediction.
My gosh, but it is what it is. It is what it is. But yeah, it was great. It was really great. Shout out to you guys for sure. We love y'all. We need to do something. Absolutely. Let us know.
Like today, what do you want to do?
already know.
You want to do something now? What time? Like, I'm down.
You already know, Natasha.
We got nothing but love for her. Natasha is our, like, for me at least, she is my southern version of Rhoda.
Yeah.
We got a homie in Rhoda. Like, it's almost like y'all are like almost like personality twins. It's how y'all look out for us, what y'all do, just your personalities.
Yeah.
So
Great.
we got love for Natasha and her production skills, making the camp meeting run the way that it should have ran all years prior. So
Yeah, yo.
shout out to that. Oh yeah, new space. Yep.
Who this? Who this?
Yo, shout out.
We
to
don't
my
know
man.
what to do. I feel like
Y'all should
microphone check once.
for real. You
No,
you
I'm
like
not.
the microphones. You
I
like
don't.
that.
Oh.
Yo, you should already know. You should already know this is the office. You like the Kendrick Lamar, sit down, be humble. Then we got how you gonna win when you ain't right within. That's a sermon.
How you gonna win when you ain't right with it? Yo, that's my song.
Yo.
I love dun, 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 dun,
Yo, but that's a sermon.
No, that's not that song.
That's you just lost.
You just lost one. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, I used to the girls know Lauryn Hill. Like,
Yo.
I blasted Lauryn Hill for a good month.
Everybody.
Just that album, Miseducation, was it?
Miseducation of Lauryn Hill.
Yeah, that joint was fire.
Everybody
Lost the ones.
But
yes.
that's a word. I'm gonna preach a sermon on that. How you gonna win when you ain't right within?
She was talking to what's his name though, right? Wasn't that song about Wycliffe?
Yeah, it was about
Wyclef.
Wyclef. But I'm just saying though, that's just a word right there. Like,
yeah, how you gonna win when you ain't right within?
And then sit down, be humble.
Be humble.
Like, you talking too much.
Sit down.
Be humble.
According to out here in the South, Texas, sit down. Like New York would be like, sit down. Yeah. They be like, sit down. It's like one word. Yeah. What up, Sheena? Shout out to Sheena.
Shout out to Sterling Morris.
I said Sheena.
Sherilyn Morris.
Okay.
With the quick response to Lost Ones.
Facts.
Sheena loves some Lauren.
Any day. Sat down.
Sat down. Sat down.
Who that sat down?
Yeah, the kid be like, I did sat down. I did sat down. Everybody. Oh, grandma in Texas.
Yo,
That is
I
all
feel like
off.
we need the air in here because it is hot.
It's
Sorry, you
getting
keep
hot in
talking.
her.
You keep talking, but
Oh yeah, everything is everything. Yes, that's the track right there.
yo,
Mm.
everything is everything. That's my yo.
Yo, what up, guys? Jean Louis. Yo, shout out to you guys, Jean
Is that Jean
Louis.
Louis? That's how you say it, yeah.
Yeah, that's how you say it.
That's what's up. Everything is every yo.
See that? She said you need to do a style because First Lady, you lit.
Aw.
What about
I be trying to
Pastor? Is Pastor lit? I'm a
sometimes.
cool. I'm like in my army green tonight. I'm
That's
feeling
what's
that.
up.
Yeah,
Glad you feeling yourself.
feeling myself. I'm feeling
Feeling
myself.
myself.
Feeling
Feeling
myself.
myself.
Feeling myself.
Feeling myself.
I'm not a
Feeling myself.
munch. I'm not a munch, as the kids would say. You know what I'm saying?
That must be some new slang you just
I
heard
hope it.
2 days ago.
I hope I'm using
I
it in
hope
the
you
right
saying
way.
it too. What up, sister Hunt?
Yo, horn.
What
Nobody
up,
likes Sister
Marissa?
Morris Horns. There we go. The people are coming. We love them.
Oh,
We
right,
love
right,
our
right.
people.
Yeah. So this week you were away, whatever. That was cool that you were able to experience what you experienced at cohort.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that was cool. My camp ended this week.
Yo, round of applause.
God is good. Praise him.
Mm.
Praise him. So that was really good. Excited about what transpired in that space. And like, yo, it was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
The kids were amazing. Like to come, like real talk. I had one student in particular, actually two of them, but this one in particular, on Wednesday, she was not reading. When I say she was not reading anything, like a lick, right? Thursday, we're working on the same book we've been working on for some time. Why is this girl reading?
Yo.
I was like, she read the entire book and I gave her another book. I was like, let me give you another book. Let me see if you are memorizing this, right? I gave her another book. Homegirl read the book.
Shout out to literacy.
I was like, real talk, like no cat. Like I was like, yo, this is amazing. And it's crazy. Like as teachers, you find like the light bulb more than likely always goes off as they're about to leave you. Right? It's almost like they get it and they're about to leave you. It's like, why couldn't you get it before? But I'm just so excited at the outcomes that were taking place in that space. And I mean, like, I had a online student, and let me tell you something. This little girl was reading.
Wow.
I mean, like, God is amazing. But I'm really happy for all that transpired in that space. I'm going to try to get some rest. So one of the things about that I'm learning or trying to learn is um, how to create that balance where rest is something that is normalized, right? Because there's always something that you could do, right? And so trying to normalize rest and trying to just be still for moments. Like today my mother was just like, "You just I think you just like to say that you're tired and not do anything about it." And I'm
Wow.
like, "Yeah, you right. I do. I straight up just stay tired,
But
but I'm trying."
I recommended last week. Rest is resistance. Look, Sherilyn has a question. She's
Hey,
asking you
Sherlyn,
how old.
how old? So that child, she is 4 years old. She's going to no, I'm lying. She just turned 5. She's going to kindergarten next year. But she wasn't with me. So all the kids that I have are actually all new to my space. So it's not like I was working with them for months. I was literally working with them for 2 weeks. Two. Two. So she's 5. The other student online, she's 4. And so, yeah, yo, it just amazes me every single time. But yeah, I'm grateful. I'm glad.
Yo,
Yeah, God is good.
shout out, yo, if you got a student, what is it, 3-year-old that needs some skills, some tools with helping with reading. Next year, signed up for the literacy camp. Are you gonna do your literacy camp next year?
Absolutely.
All right,
Same
then.
time, same place.
All right. Look at
Gratefully.
that. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, Don Ellis here. He always
What
live.
up, Don L? You
Yo.
live? You live?
Cool.
Whoop. But anyway, so here we are. We out here, y'all. We out here. So last week so 2 weeks ago, was it 2 weeks ago?
No, I feel like it was last week because I was in New Orleans last week.
No, we did. No, last week we were
Are you talking about
in
camp
Athens.
meeting?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were in Athens last week. So 2 weeks ago.
So 2 weeks ago. Okay, all right. I was gonna segue to that, but let me segue to something else. So two things, not podcasts, two documentaries that we watched together. What was it called? The one on Netflix by Barack Obama.
I don't know the name. I came in and you were
Okay.
watching it. I think it was on Surface Workers.
It was like check that out. Like real talk, that's an amazing documentary to sit and watch and just think about how um the work industry, how that works and where you fit in middle class, upper class, all that stuff. Like it was so informational. I want to go back and watch it, rewatch it, just so that I can really absorb all it is that they were saying in the
Right.
documentary series.
So, Mr. Obama, Netflix, that was a free advertisement.
Real,
The
yeah.
next one we're gonna charge.
We're not charging. We
I'm
can't
gonna charge.
charge our forever president.
Yeah.
Nothing. But anyway, and then the other one was Happy Shiny People.
I did not watch that with you.
No. I know you
Oh,
didn't watch it, but
just
I know I watched it. That one is a little bit scary. Not scary in the sense where it's like a thriller or something, but it talks about the Duggar family. Have you guys heard about it? Have any of you heard about? I think it's My Shiny Happy something. Let me look it up while you talk, Jamie.
the Duggar family. Anybody remember the Duggar family? Didn't they have a show on, I think it was TLC,
TLC.
about all their kids? That's crazy that they were able to have a show about all the kids they got. They got money, but but just having a lot of kids. And I don't know much about it. I wasn't really into it, but I just remember there was some scandal that happened with him and he got canceled. His show got canceled, he got canceled. The Duggar family. Anybody in the chat? Y'all heard about the Duggar family?
So it's called
Probably not,
Shiny Happy People.
because y'all were watching Love and Hip Hop.
Right.
Okay, Tiffany.
Yeah, there it is.
What up, Tiff Tiff?
So that's what it's called. Happy, Shiny Happy People.
Happy
And
is triggering.
yeah, that joint, it talks about their cult.
What up, Hadassah?
Right, but of course, but they wouldn't say that it's a cult, right? But it was
Was
very much
Mormons?
cult like.
Are they Mormons?
No, I think it was Christian Baptist. I think they were Baptists. I think they're Baptist. But it basically was talking about this guy Gothard or whatever his name is, who basically started who started this ministry of um basically it was for white people. Let's be honest.
Okay.
It was for white people and people that Christians, let's just say white Christians. I think that was the market that he was going for. And it just goes into, I'm just like in episode 2, but it just goes into how it started, how the Duggar family were part of this. I think it's IBL something. I don't even remember, but it's just I'm gonna be honest. Like there are some similarities to the Adventist Church and to this in terms of like how they drive fear into you to make you live right, right? Like the fear was like they would go to hell if they did this or they did that if they disobeyed. Like everything is based off of like this umbrella of God. And I think I've seen this very same thing in our I've seen it before, where's the umbrellas, and then the first one is God, then the next umbrella underneath that is husband and then wife and then children. And so everything is about authority, right? And obeying authority and creating this sense of obedience to this authority. It was crazy. And he was talking about like how he came up with this like quiverful where the more children you have, the more blessed you will be. So it's like why this lady, this Duggar wife, I don't remember her name, how she like had over, I think it was 19 kids. I
Yeah,
think she
that's
lost.
19 kids and counting.
Yeah, but go watch it. I don't want to
Man,
I don't want to
yo,
do a whatchamacallit thing,
so
spoiler,
the
but
other
go
other
watch
doc,
it. It's
other
crazy.
documentary I'd recommend, The Family. Have you seen The Family?
Mhm.
So the prayer breakfast, like how the White
Oh, yeah,
House
I
does
think we
the.
were watching it. Uh-huh.
So the White House does that annual prayer breakfast. I thought it was just something that the White House does,
Uh-huh.
but it's actually this family that sponsors it and puts it on. And
Mm.
apparently, this documentary, they say that it is, I gotta get back. It's called The Family, but I'm trying to
Mhm.
remember their name. But nevertheless, every politician, leader, US and foreign, they all visit this family. And so not only do they visit their house, they also have like a cult where they train boys and
Yes.
girls like how to read the Bible, how to study it. So this one guy broke away from it and he's now telling the story about what happens at this house. And he was like, man, to get away, it was like he had to sneak out to escape because they hold and train you there. But it's called The Family. It's crazy. It's all about how the prayer breakfast got started, how that prayer breakfast became an
Mhm.
annual thing
Wow.
at the White House because this one family sponsors it. And so they're very instrumental in
Right. All
choosing
things politics.
all things politics and making sure that the US remains a Christian nation and
Mm,
that we need
mm,
this certain people
mm,
here. So they all go visit this family.
mm,
It's
mm.
wild.
Yeah, all of it is wild.
Yo,
All of
you
it
know
is
what?
wild.
I'm gonna shout out to Netflix.
Them documentaries, yo, that stuff be making you like,
Netflix,
yo, showing it
HBO,
crazy.
they be having them
Ooh,
documentaries.
Jesus. Oh, Jesus. But yeah.
Shout Reverend Stacy,
Oh,
all
the
notes
Nopes
in the
in
note
Nopesville.
pills.
3 is
Three is
enough.
enough.
Listen, I'm like,
Hey,
but
three.
she birthed more. She did, well, she
She lost,
lost a
right?
few, but 19 children coming out of her body. I'm just like, my God, my God. Yeah, that's on some not next level.
At least they say SDA's a code. At least they let us leave. Hello, help. But not some churches though. They be hunting you down. Some SDA churches they be looking for you. They gonna find you.
Nah, they don't. They not. I don't
Yeah.
think it's like that at all.
Yo, Shepherd Rods came to a camp meeting.
They sure did. So before we drove into the grounds on Sabbath, I was like, I wonder if shepherd rods is still a thing. Like if are still like camping outside of the gates of camp, and if they are trying to like talk to people about whatever. Best believe we drove all the way down to, I guess, where the highway to connect all the major highways were, and they were sitting right there at the corner with their pamphlet. I'm like,
Yeah, they got their van.
keep
They
going.
had their books. They were
No,
ready.
good.
They were ready to put some
Yeah.
material in your
I
car.
never understood that. Like go evangelize people, other people that need to hear about whatever it is that you're talking about.
Talking
Like
about the miracle.
why are you so focused on Adventists in this space, right? And I'm going to assume because it's where a lot of Adventists are, right? At that time of year. But it's almost like why? Why are you here?
I
Like
think
what's the
it's
point?
I think it's their mission. I think that's
To
what
call
they're
out.
to convert Adventists to shepherd rods. I don't think their work is to actually go and I don't think their work is to actually go and knock on doors and meet people. Like you know how we try to evangelize people and baptize them. I think their calling and their work is specifically to the Adventist church
Mm-hmm,
to pull Adventists out of it
mm-hmm.
into becoming a shepherd rod.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so I don't know if there's somebody out here in the chat that knows about
I hope
shepherd
not.
rods.
I hope not.
Were you a shepherd rod? Right? Like, let us know.
Raise
But
your
from what
hand.
I understand, and they almost got me one time because
They almost got you. What
they
you
almost got
got you?
they when
Oh.
I was coming into like Adventism, you just think like, people around, if they're around the church, you just happen to think that if they handing out material that,
That it's
oh, yeah. And so this is like when I was at AUC, maybe I was at AUC or something,
mhm.
and I brought the material back and I started reading. I was like, man, this is kind of strange. And then somebody told me that's Shepherd Rod. So got rid of it. Matter of fact, I know how I got it.
Oh.
When I was at AUC, I had preached at a church. It was in Connecticut, a
Mhm.
small little church,
Mhm.
and they were there. It was a group. It was some ladies and a guy, and they were
Mhm.
there, and they had like a whole bunch of like books and material, and
Right. You're innocently thinking this has to be like church material that
yeah,
you should read.
right. So they almost got.
Right. It's true, Anderson. Like, how are they still around? Why are they
Yo,
still around? Like
they
lurking.
they like roaches. They don't die. They come out. They be coming out when you don't want to see them.
Wow. But
Oh, Tiffany wants to know, can we talk about Southwest regions
absolutely.
champion?
Go ahead, girl. Tell
Yeah.
us what you want to talk
Well,
about.
she's a music head, so I'm sure. Oh, well, I'm sure she probably enjoyed Pastor Phipps' sermon too.
So okay, so let's leave Phip's sermon for like the let's leave his sermon for until we're finished talking about whatchamacallit,
About Ricky Dillard, the
about
concert.
Ricky Dillard. So I am a lover of choir music. I love all things choir. I love singing in choir for the most part. I love hearing a choir. I like jamming out to a choir. Like choir music is where it's at for me, right? I like the groups and stuff like that. That's cool. Choirs, what? Listen, the Ricky Dillard concert was great. Like, it's been a while since I've been to a concert and it was really good. It was a really, really good concert. Thoroughly enjoyed rocking out to Ricky Dillard. It's even better when I look over and I see my girls singing the songs along with him. Like that is like, yo, we doing something right. This one over here, however, he does not like concerts for the most part.
Drum roll. No, no,
Oh
I
gosh.
am not a concert person. I do not like. I will say this: the one concert I did enjoy was Ty Tribbett's. I loved that concert.
What up, Rhoda? We were just talking about you, girl.
Oh, shout out to Rhoda.
We were just talking
Yeah,
about you.
shout out to Rhoda. So here it is with me. I enjoy. I like though. I don't mind music. I don't mind choirs. It just be too loud for me. It is just.
You
I
know
think
what you sound like?
what I sound like.
You sound like an old person.
But I've been
That's
like
how
that.
them old people
I've
be
been.
like.
I have been like this forever though. For as long as you've known me, pretty much.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
like,
true.
yo, this joint is mad
You
loud.
age mad fast. That's what it is. Cause I'm like, yo, the louder it is, the more hyped I get.
Yeah, and
I'm like
I'm
a
not
little bit
against.
louder on this.
And I'm not against concerts. I will go to a Kingsborough concert. I will
Oh
go to
gosh.
back when we were in New York, OGK. What was
Mhm.
what was the other choir? New Dimension, New Life,
New Life?
Lebanon. What's Lebanon's choir? Dynamic,
Lebanon?
Lebanon, SDA in Queens.
I don't know their name. Their choir name.
But they were remember their choir though.
Yes, I do
Yeah,
remember their choir. Their
they
choir was phenomenal.
yeah, we'd go Mount Vernon, go that. But like, if you ask me, if Carlene asked me, Jamie, you want to go to a concert? I'd be
He's
like,
gonna be like, no.
I'm alright.
He said, no, he does not want to He'd
So
be like,
even though I liked Ricky Diller's music, I liked the concert. You know, all of my help, all my help, yeah, and that dynamic praise. There it goes.
comes from you.
Yeah,
Da, 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 da. Yo, I be jamming
it just feels like when it starts, they turn the volume up,
as they should.
and I be sitting there like, I just keep looking at my watch, like 30 more minutes of this, and you will have
Yo,
hearing impairment.
I'm literally like this. Jamie's like this.
I mean, because it'd be
I'd
loud.
be mad hype. Listen to me.
Yeah.
So the concert was great. Like I missed choir. I missed listening to all things choir in person live. I love it. And he did a phenomenal job with the songs, with everything, the dance moves, like he knows how to like get down. I'm like, yo, bro is old, but he be like,
Yeah, he was doing
he
some
be
all
like,
right.
but he was like on his knees. Oh, I
Yeah.
just showed a little skin there. No one saw that.
Yeah, he be all like moving in.
Yo, I was like, yo, this dude is old, but he young.
So yeah, shout out to the music at camp meeting though. It was good.
It was.
It was good.
It
But
was.
you see, Anderson agrees with me. Anderson says to me, I'm with Jamie for the most part. Church-based concerts, they be loud and
Well,
long.
y'all need to go sit in the back or downstairs somewhere.
Anderson, yo, next time I'm in Anderson. Anderson's in New York, right?
Yes, he
Yes.
is. He needs
Next
to.
time I'm
Y'all
in New
need to
York,
go sit in the back.
we go sit in the car, or we could go to a restaurant.
Go sit in the back somewhere. Actually, Tiffany, um, she said, "How did the constituents react to Ricky?" Honestly,
Oh, they loved it.
to be honest, if you were there and you were like jamming out to it, you didn't care. Like for me, I didn't care who was liking it or not. For the essentially the people that were around us,
Yeah.
like they were jamming as well.
Yeah, they
Of course, I'm sure you've had people like, oh, the church is going to the dogs because, and he had actually shout music. I mean, let's get real. Let's get real. We ready to get real.
you can get real because I'm about to flip and go somewhere else. But go ahead, get real, make your statement, and then I'll make
So
mine.
back in the day, the only place I used to go to and hear shout music and it be like, oh, we go in there was Kingsborough Seventh Day Adventist Church, right? Their concerts, like after, like especially if they had like when they had not if they always had like some um church, well, some choir group that was not Adventist, right? And so you would hear the shout music, and they'll just as Adventists, honestly, when we look or when I look around and I see other Adventists trying to shout like people who have this is their culture, like this is what they grew up doing, um, it'll just kind of be like that awkward thing, like, ooh, it's kind of awkward. And for me, when back in the day, I used to be very judgmental. Uh, Was I judgmental? I was nervous. I was scared because it was almost like, what is this? Right? Because that's something that I wasn't accustomed to. But now it seems as though if you in the Adventist church and you don't hear shout music, it's like, are you Adventist? Right? Like
Right.
it just feels shout music is not deemed as evil as it was taught to us, right? It's almost like when they start when the music is going and they're clapping and they start doing their dances with their feet, it's like they're catching the spirit. And it was for me, I used to be afraid because I'm like, what spirit are they catching? Are they catching an evil spirit? And if that evil spirit, like, what are they going to do? Are they going to start foaming at the mouth or start laying out? Because that were those were things that I remembered being taught as evil.
Hmm.
But shout music went down at camp meeting.
Let me tell you, not only shout music went down, shout sermon went down. Your boy Myron Edmonds,
Okay.
your boy Myron Edmonds blew the
Jump,
roof off the pavilion.
jump.
He had the whole pavilion jumping, shouting, dancing, running.
Jump. Look, Lady
Yep.
D. Lady D is like,
I
jump,
mean, like, jump, jump. The Mac Daddy make you jump,
jump,
jump.
jump.
The Daddy Mac can make you. That man was like, 1,
Listen,
2,
2.
3, jump. Shout out to
When you
Myron
see,
Edmonds, man.
when you see him jumping, I don't want to give the sermon away. Go and watch that sermon. It is
Yo, I know that
crazy. Like,
Pastor Phipps' sermon on Sabbath morning is getting a lot of attention, but
yeah,
Dr. Edmonds'
yeah,
sermon
yeah, 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 yeah,
on
yeah, yeah,
Friday night,
yeah, yeah,
that man,
yeah,
that man was on
yeah.
another stratosphere.
You know what? You know what? What's cool is his message. Oh man, I don't want to be a spoiler, but his
I
message,
mean, it's out there,
his
man.
message was so like it as he talked about a lot of times we don't know how to be real. We don't know how to
Right.
how to be like, yo, we know that life is lifing. Why is life lifing? Like what is adult? What is this adulting thing that I'm feeling, right? I feel
Right.
like back then we didn't know that people were struggling, right? Because we people create this facade of perfection, like, yo, everything is great, right? Everything is wonderful. But when we get down to the nitty-gritty, everybody's struggling.
Everybody's struggling. Everybody's still struggling.
We all struggling. I'm saying everybody, I'm struggling. And so, yo, just go watch the sermon, yo.
Yeah.
It
So
was
Don L, just go on Facebook and I think
YouTube as well.
YouTube, and if you go to Southwest Region Conference camp meeting Friday night, you'll see that. But yeah, so that was in reference to Tiffany's question about how did they receive Ricky. I'm like, if you received Myron's
Yeah,
sermon, you
yeah,
received Ricky.
yeah,
Like you, and there
yeah.
could be no, you can't draw no line there or
Mm-mm.
contradict yourself. So they were feeling Ricky. Who else performed? Well, it was just the praise team and then Ricky, right?
Yeah.
I don't think
I
there was
think they
anyone
had
else.
well, Sabbath morning they had Myron Butler, but for the concert, yeah, it was just they just went right to Ricky what's her name? Oh my gosh. What's that
Gail
lady's name?
Murphy.
Gail Murphy. Let me tell
Gail
you.
Murphy.
That song she sang, oh my gosh. Yo, I don't even remember it, but I just remember like yeah, she's gifted.
Yeah, Gail
She's
Murphy is.
she's on another stratosphere
She's
for
gifted
sure.
and she's a gift.
She really
And I don't
is.
think like she. I don't know. Well, I don't hear her sing often, but I feel like she doesn't sing the same song twice. It feels like she just be creating songs
Yeah.
for the moment, and then she moves on and does another song.
You know who's like that? You know who she reminds me of?
Jay Z,
I'm giving I'm giving a shout out to
Nas,
Beverly Burton.
Beverly Burton.
You know, like you know, like she kind of reminds me
Mm-hmm.
of Beverly Burton in
Mm-hmm.
that, um, she plays the piano and she sings and she creates her own music, her own songs and stuff like that. So that's when I think about Gail Murphy, I think about Beverly Burton up in New York. Just a
Right,
shout out to Beverly.
right.
Yeah. Um, yeah. Yeah. So so okay, let me scroll. I want to make sure we don't miss something. And someone says, I grew up Pentecostal um assemblies
Of the
of the
world.
world.
Yes,
We
y'all did.
specialize in shout music.
Yes, y'all did.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie.
They specialize in that diminished chord.
It's like say creeping compromise.
Yep. If you
You
still
right.
saying creeping
You
compromise,
right.
you
Yeah.
might as well stay home.
Yeah. Um,
If you're using that word, creeping compromise.
yeah. Um I definitely, I mean, what is it? It's just clapping, stomping feet, but I think it's more like a cultural thing, right? It's
Yeah,
how they grew up and what they're what it's like.
right.
I
We
don't know,
we
like
as Adventists were taught to
be
look
quiet,
down on, well, to be quiet, which is very European,
right,
which is not African or not black, because
right,
we are just expressive people,
right,
movement people, rhythmic people,
right.
and then we're also taught not to celebrate salvation.
Mm,
So it's not like not to, we're taught that's not how you celebrate your freedom. That's not how you celebrate your liberation.
Right. You do it like this.
Yeah, you do it like this. A simple amen is enough. I remember that year when Ted Wilson was like, no clapping. And that, just saying, why not
Bruh.
just say his name? Shouldn't even
That's one of those things like,
bring his name
bruh.
into this space. I'm trying to keep this space with clean, nice energy, right? We're trying to keep the energy. But yeah, we're talking, and then and then to make ourselves feel better, we demonized other denominations for doing that. But look, man, let the people shout, let them rejoice,
Let them
let them
dance.
dance however
Let
they
them
want to.
dance.
Because slaves were chained up, and so when they got to church, they were free. They heard the preacher, they were free. They wanted to shout because they have the pictures of they would put muzzles on them. So of
Keep them
course, if you
quiet.
take
Yeah.
a muzzle off of me, I'm gonna shout because
And
I
I
want
made
to
it
get
to
my
the other
voice.
side.
There you
Listen,
go.
I'm not gonna stay silent.
Exactly. So
Listen, I just, you know what? I'm be honest. I don't care. I'm be honest. I wish I knew how to do that footwork.
yeah, that footwork is off the chain.
No, like I wish I knew
It's
how to
not
do
just the
that.
foot, the shoulders be moving too.
Yeah, but it's the feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like if I try to do it, I'll look silly. But that feet movement, man, I'd be like, and the
You can ask her. I know Stacy Brown know how to do it.
okay,
Stacy, can you give us a shout dance class?
for the Adventist.
That's right. Can you do a YouTube tutorial for the Adventist?
That joint,
Yeah.
I be trying, but I can't. It's
Adventist,
that feet. It's like that.
Adventist be at home trying to practice it on YouTube.
I'm,
I got it now. I'm going out there and do it.
I'm gonna try. I'm going to try for sure. I'm going to try to see how I can figure out how to do it. As when the shouting gets shouting,
Yo,
my feet gonna be moving.
facts. Sometimes you just want to shout. Let me tell you, I would have loved. I was jumping when Myron was preaching. I would have loved to been able to do that dance, but and the band was shout out to the band.
Hey yo,
That band was hitting.
she said y'all don't know how to clap like us.
It's true.
We don't. We be like,
Yeah. That's gonna start the tutorial on how to clap, how to do the soul clap, the clap and because that the clap and the stomping that requires a lot of
coordination. But can I tell you something else?
Mhm.
Can I tell you something else?
Sure can.
That joint is exercise.
It is.
You hear me?
It is.
That joint is exercise.
It is.
You be like in it.
It is.
But yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that was good. So, okay, yeah, okay. Sorry. I'm trying to. Oh, we used to practice our shouts. Okay.
Tiffany says, "Do you think birds set a new standard as far as when it comes to the music?"
Like, what are you talking about specifically?
Yeah, because Calvin Watkins brought Anthony Brown. Remember?
Mhm.
Yeah, Anthony Brown. Felt like we haven't we didn't have many camp meetings. Felt like I don't know. I don't remember, but I vividly remember him bringing Anthony Brown.
Yes. Agreed.
Yeah. He
Yeah,
brought
but I want to know what she talking about a camp meeting in a um
I
in a
mean,
general sense?
I think every president has their touch. So I think Bird has his touch on the campground. So like, the lights, the little reflector lights when you drive in, shout out to the cameras. The
Mhm.
cameras are looking amazing.
Mhm.
Like that crane, so those things. And I think that's Bird likes production like that. So I always feel like every president has a different thumbprint.
Mhm.
Just like different pastors have different thumbprints.
Right.
So now the thing is, if Bird is no longer the president, is that thumbprint completely gone? Because I don't know if Southwest Region bought those cameras or they're renting those cameras. And I don't know if somebody would come after Bird and be like, we don't need these cameras.
Mm.
Like I don't know if it's a standard to be like, yes, let's continue to have these kind of cameras and this kind of production,
Mhm.
right? Because I
Who
mean,
knows?
because when Calvin came, excuse me, Elder Watkins, let me be respectful. But Elder
Right.
Watkins came.
Right.
Elder Watkins Watkins was doing some cleaning up on the campground. I remember we had to paint stuff. And then when Green was the president, they fixed that they built the welcome center. So I just feels like
Right.
everybody has their
Their
thumbprint,
thing.
their thing and
Mhm.
whatever.
Mhm. Yep. 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 Um.
Yes, it has come a long way. And that long way is because of every president
Right.
continues to put money into the camp because Count Elder Watkins did the cafeteria, he did the stage, he did they got nice houses now.
Right.
All the administration, they be living lovely
Yeah.
up at the campground. We be suffering in that
Mercy,
Roach
Jesus.
Motel.
Okay,
I
Jamie. Jamie.
what?
Jamie. Watch it now.
I didn't
Watch
watch
it.
it. You got to keep it 100.
Ooh, Jesus. Hate it all. All to him I owe.
Okay, we'll just leave it there.
Jesus. You could tell that this joint is unscripted. Like we have no script.
It's triggering.
I guess it is trigger. You be like this. So yeah. I definitely think that um um I don't know what it was. Okay. All right. So let's talk about sorry, my brain is doing this. But let's go ahead and talk about Elder Pastor Phipps, Whitney Phipps sermon. If I could have gotten up and um thrown both of my shoes at him, I would have.
Mm,
That camp, excuse me, that sermon was
relevant.
relevant, but
Mindset, mission, and mentality. Why you laughing?
I can't stand you. This dude. But no, for real, that sermon was um great. It was a great sermon. It's one of the really good sermons that I've heard um in a very long time.
Yeah,
I think that, and what I'm saying in a very long time, I hear you preach all the time, right? Relevant sermons, whatever. But in that space, right? Camp meeting is like the Oscars or
yeah. It's like
the BET
right.
awards for
It's the
Black people.
BET Awards of
Like,
church. It's
right.
the
It
NBA Finals of
right.
church.
Right. That's what it feels like. Like it's a space where it's almost like the climax of the apex of, I don't know, of our denomination, especially in the Black work. It feels as though that's like right
Right.
there, right? And so in that space, I think that he used that platform in that moment to speak truth to power and to just be 100% real.
Mhm,
Um, I literally probably could have stood up for his entire sermon for the most part.
mhm.
Um, but I'm gonna let you talk about it.
No, I thought it was good. I thought it was courageous. It's the kind of sermons I enjoy. The ones that I think all sermons should make you uncomfortable. I think all sermons should trigger you. It should make you think otherwise, and or it should confirm your what you've been thinking
Mm-hmm.
for quite a while. And I think his sermon captured all that. There were some parts that I think I shared with you that I was like, man, I don't agree with that part. But for the most part, I was like, yes. I think it was also too confirming a lot of things that I've said probably on this podcast
Facts.
before and conversations that I've had with colleagues in the ministry. It just confirmed. And so it was nice to know to hear that a man, when he first stood, when he said, I'm 12 years away from 80, that he's still thinking like that because he's seen a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And, and for him to express it in that. on that stage
Yeah.
was was everything.
Mhm.
Now, should I go on further or should I stop right there?
I'm actually nervous to have you move on.
You're nervous at me, but I'm not gonna say nothing that we don't know. I think we I think for the most part, it's just gonna be a good sermon.
Mhm. Okay.
That's my belief.
What do you mean by that?
I mean that I mean that sessions when we elect presidents, they're not changing that.
Yeah. So you're saying that it was a one of it was a great sermon that we heard, but in terms of what he said being turned into something that we change, like in the very moment or even in upcoming sessions or in our denomination, you're saying that it was just a good sermon.
Yeah, I'm saying it was just a good sermon.
Wow.
Like all the time. Like no, I don't want to say it won't change, but I'm not holding my breath
Mhm.
because my observation is that that system of the way we choose presidents
Right.
is going to continue to exist because that is the way people can select who they want to be president,
Right.
not the people,
Right.
right? Like the nominating committee gets together, they bring one name to the floor. Whether
Yeah.
you like that name, you send it back. So I think that's a system that is set up so that it is a way of holding on to the power to make sure we get who we want to be
In office.
in office. So, you know, at the end of the day, I'm not holding my breath because how
Right.
I've been talking about this, and I've talking about it to spoken about it to a few people as well. I was like, there is nowhere. It's only in the church that we vote for presidents like that. You
Right.
never even vote for the president. You won't even vote for your class president like that.
Right. Right. Because even in the class president, I like, especially during election time, every 4 years when it's time to vote a president, like we have mock debates
Yeah,
between two candidates, right?
right.
Because that's what we're modeling what, we see outside of our classroom in our society. Like you have two candidates who stand and present their their take, their beliefs, their whatever it is, right? Their plan. That's essentially what we want. We just want to know, what is your plan? And after that, we can then make a what we call a informed decision, right?
Mhm.
Our decisions aren't informed at all. We
Yeah,
walk into those sessions as blind as Bartimaeus. Whatever
right.
his name is,
Now,
Bartimaeus.
now, if you on the inside, most people that are getting chosen delegate, they have an idea about who the nominating committee is going to select and who's going to come to the floor, and they come prepared to
Mhm.
be like, we sending that name back.
Yeah.
So that's just that part, and then he spoke about pastors, how we create this environment of how we treat them that they become uninspired. They just want to walk away because of the power over them. So
Hmm.
at the end of the day, I'm not holding my breath. That's all that. I feel like it was a good sign.
So the part that I think about that process, and even when I think about the process from a church level, and we're gonna get to your question, Anderson. From a church level, right? I remember sitting in nominating committee one year, and I vowed never to sit in nominating committee again because of the process by which they do the choosing of of the leaders of the church, where it's almost like you know, we try as much to spiritualize it, but let's be honest, ain't nothing
It's
spiritual.
political.
It is nothing spiritual. And I'm so glad that he said that, because it's definitely some things that Jamie and I talk about. And I'm sure in other spaces, it's been talked about. Like we try to spiritualize these things and try to be like, well, let's pray and ask God to lead. Stop lying.
Yeah, if it
Because let's
was,
be real.
if
You already know who's going in there, and you have already aligned, you have already politics for that
yeah,
individual.
if you want to go and get spiritual, then have a bunch of people in a room and cast lots.
Facts.
Get some straws
Get some straws.
and drop them on the floor and see who it points to. That's your president.
Mercy. Okay. All right. Oh snap! C.R. Marshall said you pick your Saul before you get to see David.
Yeah,
Listen,
he had, and that was an excellent point that he made. He was
oh,
like,
Jesus.
he was like, who's it? Samuel, who went to go?
Samuel,
Samuel went to go.
like choose the next
Yeah,
king.
to Jesse. And he was like, no, let me see all of your sons,
Yeah.
not just these. Let me
Right.
see all of them.
Yeah. Yeah. He says, but from a member's perspective, how much does that impact us? How much does that impact them? The process by which
The presidents are
mhm.
chosen. I mean, to be honest, I don't even know. I think like there's this. I think there's. I think it more affects the pastors than it does the members because
It affects the
it
members.
affects the members too. But
It
I don't.
affects
I think so.
the
What I'm
members.
saying is, what I'm trying to say is, I think I'm not a member. I'm a worker. I'm an
Mhm.
employee. But I feel like what I'm observing is that there's this like disconnect between conference session, how we choose presidents, and all that other stuff, and the people in the pews. I feel like the people in the pews just want to come to church, hear a sermon, and leave. I think they get mad at certain things that the administration does, like
Mhm.
it's just like ordaining women and
Or they
things like
move the
that.
pastor, or they bring a pastor, a certain pastor to lead the congregation, and they're not happy with that, right? That's how it impacts them. Like the president having his or her, well, his, right? Let's be honest, his agenda. Because I don't think are there any more female presidents? Is that one in
There's
California?
only one.
Is she still the president?
That's a good question. I think Sandy is still the president.
But
Elder Roberts. I don't even know her name. I
but
don't even know how. Yeah, I
yeah,
don't know. I don't know.
okay.
I think she is.
I think it impacts them in that way, right?
Mm.
Um, I'm not sure. I'm sure it does in most ways, but sometimes it's hard to know how it will impact in terms of if you are um, a worker versus a member. To me, it affects the members because the conference leadership and vision determines it. Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
And how they spend the money.
it does. It does. But I feel like a member has more freedom to walk away and to be
Right.
like, I'm done versus a
Right.
worker or an
Right.
employee. An
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
employee, you need that check,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
A member is like, all right, whatever. I'm not coming to church this week or I'm gonna go somewhere else.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
I mean, like the process to even get young adults or young people to be delegates at these sessions is so difficult. And I understand why it's so difficult because it doesn't make sense. It's weird.
Mhm.
It's like real weird. Like I'm sitting in there like this joint is weird. What is happening? Like
Yeah, because what do? They don't reveal they don't reveal who's on the ticket or ballot or whatever until that person has declined, right? Like if that person says I don't want to be a president, then they bring that other name out,
right.
right?
Or if the people vote it down. So it's almost like you bring the name out and then they ask the people to vote. And if the it's so weird. If the one person gets enough yeses, then they become the president. So like, okay,
It's weird.
so somebody comes out for the nominating committee and they say the name on the floor to be president is Carlene Kalasar.
Mm-hmm.
People on the floor, they'll say, "Can we go to the vote?" And so they'll go to the vote. So if you get more yeses than nos, you become the president.
But if you say no,
If you say no,
the
then
next person,
the next
the
name
next secret name comes from
comes
underneath the
out.
table
Right.
and comes out.
And if the people be like, we don't want that, then they got to go get another name. Or the nominating committee says, you know what? Y'all vote on it. Vote it up or vote it down. And so it's just so you trying to bring a millennial or a young adult to something like that. They might come their first time, but after that, they
You're
gonna
not
probably
coming
be like,
back.
I ain't doing it
I'm
no more.
telling you,
This
I
joint's a joke.
decided that I was just like, I am no longer serving on nominating committee because this joint is you legit, it's like a it's like a very real way of seeing church people for who they are. Like it is scary. And you know, to the people that be holding and clutching the Bible and saying
Yo,
scriptures, yo,
that
those,
religion, that spirituality stuff go out the door.
yo, you be like,
It is out the
it's
door.
just amazing how what comes out of people in those moments. So I stay away because I just don't even, I don't like the spirit by which all of it is done. I just don't like it. But I definitely do think that Elder Phipps, Pastor Phipps, called it out for what it is.
Yeah, and you need people like that, and I thank God they did that sermon. That's why I said it was courageous. It rattled us, and you're probably gonna have to need more people to keep doing sermons like that until the glass ceiling is broken, until one of the presidents has has the courage to be like, you know what, we're gonna change this. We got to do this. We got to do this differently if we want to save the church, if we want to save the young adults, if we want to save the next generation coming up. I mean, we want to make sure that this church move forwards in a I think a equitable and democratic way.
Hmm.
Somebody's got to say, "Yo, come on, let's flip the script." But my reasoning is it's a way to hold on to power.
Power,
It's a way to control the power.
power.
It's the way to make sure that it is almost as crazy as us in 2023 using the electoral college to put presidents into office.
Yeah.
The popular vote has nothing to do with how the president gets into office. And so like you have people that are like get rid of the electoral college
Hmm.
because more people can vote for a candidate, but if they win the electoral college, that's what happened with Trump and
Trump,
Hillary.
right.
So it's just as but that electoral college is there because right now I know that if it didn't exist, Republicans would not win another election.
Mm.
So they need to keep that because why? They keep the power.
Right. Ooh, fight the power. If we all put our money in the same way, the pastor still should be able to get the check. The question is, who has the courage enough to start the movement?
Man, so here's what I believe. Here's my 2 cents.
Here's your 2 cents.
My 2 cents.
2 cents.
Let me get a timpani roll, please. All right. Jamie's 2 cents coming out right now. Um the courage is there. It's just that the courageous ones are not in the office.
Mercy.
I think that's what the problem is. The courage is there.
I'm out.
It's just the courageous ones are not in the office and they won't let the courageous ones get there.
Mom to the sea.
Like, let a Myron Edmonds be a president. Let a Wesley Knight
Mercy said no.
be a president.
Let you go.
But I think also too, the issue is they probably don't want to be because of all the fight that they got to go through in order to create the systemic change that needs to happen. Like you look at what Dr. Edmonds is doing with his church. You look at what Dr. Green is doing in Rubidoux. You look at what Dr. Knight is doing with his church. They are flipping the script and they're reaching the masses. But the courage is there. It's just the courage is not in the office. Let me give myself horns for that.
And they're
Orville Brissett, all these
and
guys.
and they're not old enough.
Oh, ooh.
Seems as though they're
Yeah,
all right, yo, we need to go because this
yeah.
joint is getting we about to
It's
say
getting hot in her. Yeah, Tiffany, you said it right. Like, does Orville want to be a president? Does Myron? Do these people want to be the secretaries?
that's the thing. Like,
Because and they're probably looking at it like, man, I'm not trying to touch that system.
no, no, no. Oh dear Jesus.
Oh, do I think a great pastor is a good indicator of a great president? No, I'm. I don't think so.
Mm-mm.
And my reason, I'm gonna use the same, I'm gonna use this analogy in basketball. Just because you are a great basketball player, don't make you a great
Good
coach.
coach. Mm-hmm.
Oftentimes, the best coaches are the ones that rode the bench.
Mm.
They weren't the superstar of the team.
Mm.
So I'm not saying that a great pastor doesn't necessarily can't make a great president,
Yeah.
but oftentimes it's not. You look at like, I mean, you would think Michael Jordan's sons would have been crazy good basketball players. The so-called GOAT of all time.
Mm-hmm.
His sons were trash.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you know, Michael, there's been other examples of other coaches that were players that didn't translate into great coaches. So I don't know if a great pastor would make a great, and you know what, that's a good point too. That's a good point. That
Mm-hmm.
maybe, perhaps, maybe we don't have to keep looking at pastors to be presidents of conferences. That we can look at actual executive directors in the church who can lead and guide the church where it needs to be. Maybe we don't have to keep choosing from the same pool and create, which creates that cronyism. And we seen that in Northeastern, right? It was like, like, hey man, you pastor in 20 churches in Jamaica, you pastor in 15 churches in Guyana, come man, we're gonna bring you over here. And then you bring that over here. And it's like, what the heck? What did we do?
Right.
Right? Or that's what the members be saying. What the heck happened? So I don't necessarily think that it's the same, it
It should be the
translates like that.
same.
It shouldn't be like that. It
But you
should
know what?
be.
It makes sense, right? Because after a president has served as a president, they are now regular workers. And when I say regular, it's like you go from being the president to being just a um a pastor. Like you just go pastor a small church, right? Or of course there are other levels to this thing, right? Where they just kind of move on up um the scale. Um, but if that were to happen, if you were to have like just an executive, a CEO of sorts
Right. You choose
to,
from within the work, like somebody who's Adventist but understands managing millions of dollars and is, spiritual as well and managing large workforces. And if you open it up to be like, hey, we are looking for somebody to do the job, you can look at a bunch of resumes. You can interview people.
no, we can't have that, Jamie.
It's too progressive,
It's
right?
too progressive.
Right. And then
It's
it
too,
breaks up the power
oh,
structure.
it sure does.
It breaks up the power structure.
It
But
sure
I
does.
think though, I think it will be a little bit more difficult to do that. But I do think that at least, like for me, I think I would be excited if at least we were having that conversation.
Mm,
If we were just at least exploring it. Like, you know what?
mm,
Like, do we have to do it this way?
mm,
Do we still think pastors make great presidents, or do pastors make great pastors?
mm. Yeah. And the thing about the, about when we choose the presidents, like there is no interviewing, there is no debate, there is no what are your goals, how do you approach this, how do you approach that, tell me what's the data that you have to kind of present to the body at large to say, I would be a perfect candidate, or this is how I would like to carry the mission and
Yeah.
vision for
Because
this area.
anybody who is applying for a job gets interviewed and is asked, what are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What do you bring? What do you plan to do? And then a decision is made. Like even when I know for a fact that when Sunday churches, our brothers and sisters are looking for a pastor, it's more than one person that committee is talking to, and then they make a decision, and that
Yeah,
committee is like, okay, we believe that this person will
will
be
be
a
the
good
best fit.
fit for our to lead our church.
Yeah, yeah. To Sister Hunt's point, I'm not sure who's courageous enough to start that
The revolution.
that
The
revolution.
revolution.
Because it would be exciting to see that shaking up of things that we just kind of go along with because we're so accustomed to it. Um, but it's not rendering anything.
Results. Well, the kind of results that I think that people would like to see.
Yeah, to take this thing
Yeah.
to a real place,
Yeah.
to a place where
Yeah. But I would also say this that these are just the opinions of
uh,
Jamie and Carlene.
this
These are
does not represent
That's right.
everybody.
We are not speaking like experts, like we have all the answers or we know anything. We just come on this thing to just share our hearts with the people.
Yeah, our real heart.
Our people, to our 36 people that are watching right now. Shout you out. Yes.
Yeah, camp meeting. I think it's still happening in
Yeah.
other parts of.
That's right. Northeastern is about to start theirs at the end of the month. I think Allegheny East.
They're usually like overlapping
Yeah,
with,
Allegheny East should be in their camp meeting mode right now.
but yeah, uh, yeah. I'm gonna keep my comment to myself, but I definitely think that I think that in terms of like with my journey of church and things of that nature, I think that this camp meeting, um, like a friend told me, like shared with me, like in every space that we get the opportunity to occupy, that we choose, we're the ones that choose for ourselves what or how we want to make it, right? It doesn't matter the situation, right? Whether you're working at a job where it's just like, yo, you're struggling or you're having a difficult time, challenging time, but you really try to find moments where you can create spaces of reflection, spaces of where you're processing and in healthy ways, right? And so for me, this camp meeting, I think that was where I was. I was just kind of like really processing and um, creating spaces for myself to just kind of, you know, see things in a light that's been different
Yeah.
before. So it was good to do that.
Yeah, and we enjoyed, camp meeting. We enjoyed the concert. We were thoroughly surprised and enjoyed the sermon. So yeah, I'm trying to approach everything from a more positive standpoint than a
Yeah.
negative. Cause y'all, I think if you watch the last episode, I was like, oh god, camp meeting.
He still was like that, but
A little
you
bit, but not
for the
as much.
most part,
I was like, yo,
he was chill.
I was chill.
Yeah. He was definitely a lot chill and a lot of, like we created more like family moments. I think that's was different too.
Hmm.
It was like more family moments opposed to like
And we
everyone
had our we
going
had our crown jewel nephew with us. Yo,
our
boy, he
crown.
jokes, yo. Mad
Crown.
funny.
Yes,
Yeah.
that was awesome to have him with us. But
Mhm.
yeah, it was just really nice to be together as a family
Yeah.
and experience that.
Yep. I agree, C.R. Marshall. I agree.
But he said, I think it also begins with constituents understanding how the system is governed to implement the change they are looking for.
Yep.
Yeah.
You you gotta if y'all wanna infiltrate and take over, you gotta get to that constitution and bylaws and start flipping that. But it's an easy process. It shouldn't even take people revolting or people protesting or people rising up. They can simply just have a conversation. The Black Caucus can get together, have a conversation, and say let's look at it differently. Now they probably are having that conversation. I don't know if they are, or they aren't. But if we keep pressing and keep saying something, maybe hopefully something will change for the better for our children. God willing that it's still standing. But
You pray that it's still standing.
yep,
The pastors have to. I think that's true too.
yeah, I agree with that.
And I think some members are probably sitting there like, I don't get it.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
think a
understand.
lot of
I don't
members,
understand. They're probably saying like, I don't understand. Like, why is he saying that?
right? Yeah,
Like, because if you don't know, you don't know, right? You just go to church every Sabbath and you just kind of just go along with the flow, right? You just kind of you don't, and that's the thing, like you don't know until you decide to be on a nominated committee or in those sessions. That's when it's almost like the the um the veil or whatever it is really comes, like you really see it for what it is. Other than that, church is church, you know what I mean? Like you
right. So we need to do a part two because I'm getting more thoughts, but I'm
a
getting
part two.
a part two. We're still in camp meeting season.
I thought this was it.
Nope, we're gonna do a part two.
Why?
I don't know.
I was like, I think we're over camp meeting.
We are.
I mean,
It's
like
gonna come up next week. I
it's
promise you.
it's 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 over.
It's something's gonna happen. It's gonna come up next week. Promise you. Something gonna happen. It's camp meeting season. Yeah, like I said, like you said, this is the NBA finals for the church. This is
Which
the
is
this is
crazy
the
to me.
World Series. This is the Super Bowl. This is the church service of all church services. Camp meeting. Nothing else matters but camp meeting. But look, I'm tired. I'm out.
Okay. Oh, you have to wrap this your microphone.
Oh man, I'm
Microphone
tired.
check 1 2 1 2. Microphone check 1 2 1 2.
Yo,
Hey,
yo,
hey,
yo,
hey,
yo.
hey, hey,
My mic
hey,
sound nice.
hey,
One,
hey.
two. My mic sound nice. So do you.
Oh,
My mic sound nice. One, two.
don't
My
mess it
mic
up though.
sound nice.
Okay,
So do you.
go.
Yo, we here, we sitting, and we spitting, and we living as we are kicking it about camp meeting. Everybody know what's the greeting. Somebody said that means y'all will be back next week. Of course, MSLP, yeah, we gonna be here to speak about everything that's happening to us. We don't fuss, we just get on the mic and we just like to tussle and rustle. I don't got the spiritual muscle to keep on rapping because I'm tired. You know what? I'm tired. I'm sorry. I ain't got it tonight. I'm just be 100. I ain't got it tonight. I'm tired. I just got off a plane. I came back from New Orleans.
Proud of you.
Excuse me, just for tonight. I'm gonna have it next week.
But just the fact that you were like, I don't have it, because I was like, he usually never has it, but like he
Oh,
really,
snap. I
like
usually never have it.
yeah, but now like I was just like, he really never has it. So
Mm,
I'm glad that you confessed that.
mm,
See there, I'm
mm.
just look at that.
Yo, I
I'm glad.
adjust. I've been like a craftmatic. You
Wait a
try to
minute.
sit
I
there
think
and
we're
tell
done.
me that I don't have it. I always got it. Packed in my back pocket like a rocket. Can't nobody ever stop it. I'm wide open. You can never lock it. But I hold it down with the crown. When I come around the town, the boys and the girls, they start to frown because they understand that my lyrics is wet. They so wet and heavy that they even drown. Yo, what's going on, my people? As we go up in the church, we look at the steeple. I see the eyes, they looking kind of evil, but they don't know I jump over them like evil Knievel, the stunt man. I'm the hunted one. You are the fronted one, because nobody wants to get blunted, son. We offer that weed, you know what I mean? But I got a spiritual high. I always stay fly, never dry. My style is impeccable, untouchable. You seem like you are disrespectable. Yeah, I made up a word because that's absurd. But anyhow, y'all know what I'm saying. Yo, this is Jamie O Black. I'm not playing. I come with the ill rhymes. I'm not delaying. Everybody be hearing what I'm saying. And I do this with much clout. This your boy Jamie signing out. Peace. Try to tell me I don't got it. Come on, son. I be having it. Go ahead, comments. Say how dope that was. I'll wait. Go ahead, comments. They coming. You laughing. There you go. CR Marshall. They not ready, son. They was never ready. Never ready, son. They did. Even if I told them what time I was gonna kick rhymes, they still ain't ready. I'm talking about right there. They not ready.
Okay.
I came through. Juice. Thank you, Juice. Live from BK. Norma Hunt. Look at that. The people feeling me. People was feeling it. I know what the people want. You know, sometimes my haters become my elevators. You know what I'm saying? The more they hate, the more I elevate. And that's when I begin to create.
I thought you were tired.
I'm never tired. I'm fired up.
It's time to go.
All right.
Oh gosh, I'm hot. Okay. Bars, Pastor Jamie. Bars, Rhoda.
Thank you.
Rhoda, it's a Sabbath.
Thank you, Rhoda. Thank you,
Shame on you, girl, for lying.
Thank you, Rhoda. It's all good. It's all good. Know what I'm saying?
Gosh, I'm so high right now.
All good.
Oh, that's the motivation. That's the motivation he needed. Apparently.
Thank you. That's right. You need a few haters in your circle.
Well, I'm glad to be one.
Lillian Drew. Come on, Lillian.
Right. She laughing.
She's laughing because she's just like, yo, the dude is crazy.
She's like, no, yo.
Marvin Simmons.
Don't.
Hiya,
She's like, don't do it.
Nah, she like, wow. Like, I'm hysterical because it's so dope.
Actually, she's probably not, but whatever makes you feel great. But I'm glad that you tested the mic out.
Yo, the mic was nice. You know what I'm saying? I like this. I
So
like this a lot.
shout out to Jamie for real, on the real. Shout out to Jamie for oh, we are so glad. We are so glad, Lillian. Oh my gosh, read that on the pulpit. You need that on the pulpit.
They do.
Yo, that'd be dope. What if you preach in a rap to your members?
Man,
Do that.
whole
Do that.
church will
Do
get
that.
baptized.
Okay. Real talk. Before we go, I just want to shout you out. I feel like I'm professional right now. I just want to go ahead and shout you out. You know, like when people do their podcast, they do like anyway. Shout you out for creating this setup. This is dope. This is what's up.
Oh, and I want to shout you out. No, you fixed the background because I was ready to get rid of these bookshelves. It was getting on my nerves.
This dude with these bookshelves, I was like, all right, let me hook you up a little bit with the background. With doing that, but no, but for real, though, like you're supposed to say thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You over here digressing, like talking about what I did. I want you to be like, yeah, yo, thanks.
Thank you. And I want to shout you out for what you did.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
I appreciate it. But
Of course.
God willing, I think what's happening next week? Nothing.
Our show.
I think we'll be right here talking to you guys. And again, we just want to make sure that we express, this is our disclaimer, that these thoughts and this conversation was ours, our thoughts, our whatever, not of anyone else's. Um, and yeah, we appreciate this space and hope that you guys have a wonderful Sabbath. It is hot here in Texas. We are on fire. But we hope that you guys have a wonderful evening and a happy Sabbath. And this is Carlene.
This is Jamie.
Peace.
Peace.
3, 2, 1.